This might be one of the coolest historic homes I've ever got to list. And the best part is, you get to meet the owner. Come on inside. We're here today with Mr. Jeff Lewis. This home has actually been in his family since 1972, which is pretty impressive considering it was only built in 1910.
This is a big family compound, as it were. There's approximately 9,000 square feet of house.
How many people have actually lived here prior to you guys?
V.H. McQuarrie, he was a banker in town, built it in 1910. Then a man named Edgar Dyal bought it. One of his sons, James, bought it from his dad in the late 50s and totally renovated it. When we bought it in 1972, the house was in great shape. We just basically cosmetic in the yards and the grounds and things like that. The house had been for sale forever. So my best friend and I asked him one day, we were riding around, and I said, how much money you got in your pocket? Between the two of us, we had 54 cents. So I said, let's go up and tell Boots we want to buy the house. We've got 54 cents. And she finally came to the door and laughed, and we had a good time and all that. So that night I went home and I told Mother and Daddy, why don't we consider buying the Dyal house? A year later, here we were.
Now I know we've got the main house, and then there are two others that are all included.
Right. One of the sons, James, before he bought this from his dad in the early 50s, he built the brick house.
Okay.
And then there was a 2-story barn in the back that we call the little house. He renovated that for his mother-in-law.
Currently, this home and the tiny home, you use them as Airbnbs, right?
Yeah, they're on Airbnb.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It really is a great place to entertain. The downstairs, you can do all kind of entertaining, but at the same time, there's 5 bedrooms upstairs.
Right, so you could potentially.
A wedding reception and the bride and, whoever, family, and we've had that happen, can stay upstairs.
Envision that courtyard as just the most intimate little wedding venue. It would be so perfect.
Mm-hmm. I'd always kind of had a vision of doing an event space with it.
Well, if there was one story that you would want to tell someone that was coming into the house, what would it be?
This house had a heart pie kitchen. There was 2 of everything. It was tight, it was dark, and my mother hated it. Daddy was working at the time, said, just decide what you want to do and let's renovate the kitchen. Well, she wouldn't go that far, she just complained. She was on a tear one afternoon, and he'd had enough. So he got up and he got into the workshop and he got his sledgehammer, walked back into the house and went to town. Cabinets, countertops, dishes, didn't matter. Turned around and just destroyed it. He turned around and said, now renovate this kitchen. That's what they did. And when you see it, it's bright and it's white. And so that's one of the funny stories I like to tell about it, but there's hundreds of them.
Yeah.
Everybody had come home after my dad's funeral. I cannot remember who the woman was, but she was good friends with my parents. And she said, every time I have ever come in this house, it feels like a very loving parent wrapping its arms around you. Of everything that was ever said about it, that was the most beautiful thing for me.
Yeah.